how Fugan town on a cold and stormy night, with the snow blowers roar and taillight arrows, a case not black nor white. Oh, the truth must show through snowbanks deep and dramas glow. With solo cups out high we glee, what really happened to poor John O'Keefe? She took the stand with the world glued to the stream. The whispers flew like nor'easter winds. Was it love or a deadly scheme? Oh, the justice flow like vermin round the backyard snow, with neighbors watching cold and tight. Did she back up wrong with the frame that night? They say the party raged indoors while John lay still in snow so wide. But some cry out, this doesn't fit.
Hey guys, it's Mo trying to break down day 21, and as promised, as foretold in, well, Prophecies of Doom, Angry Lawyer on a Stick is nearly done. I just need to paint his neck, beef up his body, and he is going to help me break down today. Yes, my expert was completely right, and just because you don't understand anything, he totally got hit, and we just don't know where the collision was because facts. I mean, honest to goodness, we went through Blue Man Group, we went through this guy. This was scienceology, and what I mean by that is basically every single thing that Dr. Welcher did was science-ish. He took studies. He didn't have anything that's replicable. He did a blue arm thing. Now, Angry Lawyer is going to go down so I can explain this arm thing. Now, I'm going to use this highlighter because it's a gel stick so you can see. So, there was actually blue. Okay, let me see if I can find a different highlighter color because... All right, we're just going to go Blue Man arm. This is a dry erase marker. Now, the expert's arm was covered from about here. Please don't make me show my bingo wing, but there. It did not extend up here where a lot more injuries were. So when he did the blue and it got on the arm from about here to right here, that could be indicative of this being from the tail light. But he did several slow human analog backups to show that a hit would induce twisting. Now, to rival Mythbusters, this man decided, hey, you know what? Eureka! That, I'm the same size as John O'Keefe. What the hell? I'll stand right there. I'll have the shirt on. I'll have the pants on that he had. And I'll explain exactly how with a glass that I got from the thing, it was all to scale. Now, the problem with that is that no crash test that I've ever seen has used a human analog, first of all. Second of all, we don't know the stance, which he said was greatly variable as to the outcome of the trajectory of him being tossed or, spun away from the car. We don't know if he had 2 feet on the ground. We don't even know where in these trigger events the collision was, but certainly there was a collision. We brought in facts where, yes, head injuries are the most prevalent in pedestrian crashes, but there is always or often a, torso, pelvis or legs involvement. The rarest thing on the chart that he showed was arm involvement. Again, we haven't gotten through all of Dr. Welcher's testimony, but I can tell you as a layperson, as someone who doesn't always understand science the best, especially when you add math, this was completely too dense to understand. All of the PowerPoints were too saturated with information. Again, you are an expert. The true sign of intelligence is if you can extrapolate and take all of this information, collate it in your mind, but disseminate it or get it out to people with ease and not talk to them like they're functionally stupid, but talk to them like adults who don't have the expertise in your particular field. Now, Dr. Wolf and Dr. Rentschler did this very well because they are able to take very sort of niche information and explain it in a way that is easy to comprehend, that is not condescending. This expert had 97 different things with all of his own, information, not great explanations as to what triggers were. We were about 3 hours in when triggers started. None of this is going to be easily digestible. Even if you are on the side of Karen Reed is, I'm going to have to wash this off. Mr. Mo's going to be like, are you coloring with yourself or on yourself? And I'll be like, sort of. That being said, I have three notebooks because I lost one notebook and had to use another. I have 3 notebooks currently that I have filled with notes from this case. And I can tell you that every single time that the state brings on a very densely, scientific expert, it isn't until Alessi comes up and very distinctly categorizes exactly what he will be talking about in certain sections that I start to understand it. Alessi takes everything global, holistic, whatever you want to call it, breaks it down and makes it easy for me to understand. So the fact that I am reliant now for a state witness for the defense cross to explain it. Now, maybe I'm, an off person, but I don't understand anything that this expert said. It was too dense. It was relying too much on jargon. And I'm sorry, but that spoiler did not cause the cut to his eye. You're telling me that a spoiler with the force of an entire, 6,000-pound car. We have seen the injuries in Darrell Brooks. Yes, it was a Ford facing, it was much higher speed. We have seen the injuries in, unfortunately, Europe with cars gone wild. I'm not going to get into the whole political stuff, but we have seen the type of injuries that, car collisions have. And they are devastating. Now, while John had a hit to his back and his arm, these were interesting. Now, the other thing that the state did try to do, which I thought was pretty crappy. What do you mean crappy? He was an expert. Well, crappy was that he tried to take a dissertation, so a sort of paper that you write to get your doctorate, you have to defend your ideas, things like that is usually with a board. He tried to take someone's dissertation where they had an extremely small group, I think all total 500 different people, and tried to make a flow chart to determine whether it was more likely that these injuries happened from fisticuffs versus car. Now the problem is that is a infinitesimal number of people for an actual study. You would need to have, at least 5,000 to 10,000 of, or at least 1,000 people, in trauma centers that you could verify where these injuries happened and, sort of create a flow chart that would, sort of give you a differential diagnosis as to whether this is going to be more likely to be, fisticuffs or car. The problem is that is a redonkulously small, sample group size. All of this I would classify as science-ish. Again, it is not easily replicable. You don't have, it was a lot of smoke and whistles, smoke or sound and fury signifying nothing. If this was a simple case, like the state says, where we just have to figure out, a collision totally happened, we just have to figure out mens rea or manslaughter, then I need to know where this collision happened. You can't just tell me we know a collision happened, but we don't know where. Again, the biggest insult after all of the 8 hours we sat with this man, or 6, I don't know, time is Tokyo Drift apparently. Apparently John O'Keefe's phone now has Tokyo Time Drift too. We are all living in Tokyo Time Drift. As you can tell, I am not as organized. I am The day has been like the Matrix exploded. I never thought I'd see a man doing a, you know, exemplar of himself getting sort of pushed by a car. And again, no one holds their drink like this. As Valhalla showed, you usually have it down by your, casually by your waistline, by your upper thigh. You rarely hold your drink out like this, just, ooh, my bingoing is going away. I'm so proud of me. Anywho, I don't know. God bless America. And I pray that we all have a better day. And I don't know about y'all, but I am looking forward to cross. But it'll be devastating to my case. Mama, Mama, Mama Bev. Yeah, I definitely need to work on his neck and fill out his body. I know it's creepy, but I'm kind of proud of it. So Mr. Mo has to deal with me. Anywho, you guys, that's my breakdown today. It's not going to be as long. It's not going to be as detailed. I am stick a fork in me done. This was way too much math. I was promised no more math. This is why I got into trials instead of nerdy news all the time, because there is math involved. Again, as always, I will take that off, or maybe not. Tomorrow we'll still see it. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this trial is being covered by everyone in a sundry, so thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me and Valen Baker as we try to get you through this shenanigans-laden trial. I will see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Remember, Mornings with Mo starts every weekday at 8 a.m., where I find true crime headlines and the absurd of all the internet. And, maybe we will find a man to be Ultimate Florida Man. I do have a short. Go check it out. Ultimate Florida Man was on Mornings with Mo this morning. It was cray cray. Anywho, I guess that should have warned me that today was going to be crazy in court, but there you have it. Have a lovely day, all of you. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because if you lie to me once, Aperture, you'll lie to me again. And I don't know how many jurors are going to be, kind of like me. Like, you've lied about your employees' credentials. You obviously haven't checked them out. I trust nothing you say anymore, basically. Anywho, let's get some rest. Let's, get refreshed, and let's get into Alessi tomorrow. I mean, his cross, not, like a anywho. Bye, you guys.